Okay, let's go over some practice stuff and what I'm asking you to present next week. So, practice stuff, we talked about 10 to 15 minutes max per picking exercise or drill. This way, because after about 10 minutes, you're going to be hitting the max anyway. That's typically how it goes for most people. Um, Sometimes you can hit your max before the 10 minutes as long as you're efficient with it. So, I mean, you want to hit it, boom, 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 boom. One time correctly, go up. One time correctly, go up. And you just keep going, 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 going. Rest as little as possible. Eventually, you get to a point where you might need like 30, 60 seconds of a break when things start to get fatiguing. And then, you try it again. Once you reach that point where it takes like 1 to 2 minutes of really struggling, then you know it's time to call it a day. After you end with the perfect take, always end with the perfect take. Very important to do. Now let's say you're trying to hit that higher speed and it's just not going to happen. Drop the metronome like 10, 20 beats per minute and still end with a good take. You still record the fastest correct speed that you got. But just to make sure we end on a positive note, it's okay to end at a slower speed than the max speed, but still track what the max speed was. One thing I like to do at fast tempos when I start to get stuck is I will play at half speed a few times and then full speed again. So I'm going to start demoing things at 180 and go up from there. And that's what I'd like you to do when you start to film what you're going to send to me. Start filming things at 180, and if you want, and this is totally fine, start at 180 and just film the whole thing. See, so like on your last practice session for all this stuff, starting at 180 and going up in the fives, and just record the whole thing, and then I'll just kind of like see how the beginning looks, check out the end, and just kind of in between there and just see how things look, how everything sounds. Other option is just go up, from 180, go up in 10s or 20, and just kind of give me an overview of how things are going at that point. But I do want to see and hear slower speeds as well, so I can, see and hear what it's like at the slower tempo, and then see how it's progressing to the faster ones. So, sum all that up, 10 to 15 minutes per exercise, and after you reach a point where it takes 1 to 2 minutes to finally get a good take, that's, you're done with that drill for the day. When you record your stuff to send over, start recording at 180. You do your regular practice routine, but then like on the last practice routine you're doing, once you get up to 180, start recording there and just send it all over if you can. If not, then just recapping by going from 180 and then up by 10s or 20, just to give me an idea of what everything looks and sounds like. All right, let's play. 180 for number one here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a terrible start. 1. I probably shouldn't be trying to adjust my chair when I start playing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bonus points for ending with a pinch. 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder how long I can keep that up. 220. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good idea to actually watch what the pick is doing as well. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's terrible. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that brings me to reminds me of something. If and when mistakes happen during a run, do not just continue on to finish it. So let's say you get to the third bar and you goof. Don't continue it. Start it over right away. Every time a mistake happens, we want to start that over immediately and address that mistake. A lot of students think, or have told me, they keep going because they think they're still getting some benefit by playing the rest. It's like, no, we want to spend as much time in the correct takes and as little time in the incorrect takes as possible. Only perfect practice makes perfect. If it ain't perfect, just forget it. Just start over again, because we want to stay in the perfect realm as much as possible. Very important. 260, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 280, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 300, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's use this speed as an example of what I mentioned, halftime. So I'm getting the tempo and how it's all supposed to sound, and then doubling it. So I'll do it like at least twice. And once you get to a point you start to doubt if you're hitting the speeds, I think it's best just assume it's wrong, because we don't want to play with doubt. We want to play with certainty. Now, when it comes to just messing around and having fun, then, just haul ass, do whatever you want. Have a good time with it. And that's a good idea to do as well. Once you get some speed, just start improvising stuff. Because that doesn't really matter if it's super accurate or not. You're just trying to have fun. But when you're trying to build your speed and keep the accuracy, we want to have certainty when we play. All right, 180 for number 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to let your arm and your hand do whatever it needs to hit the higher and higher speeds. We don't want to resist what the body wants to do to make those speeds happen. That includes making wider motions, being more violent with it. Just try and tune into what the body needs to do in order for you to pull it off. 220. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 260. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 280. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That felt pretty good there. 300. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, number 3. Constant picking. Here we go, 180. Whoop. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, because of the way I pick, I'm hitting the string I'm leaving plus the new string with that final upstroke. So I have to mute really well with that left hand so you don't hear things you don't want to hear. 220, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 260, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So once you start consistently hitting speeds of 240 or a little faster, then we can talk about starting at, say, 120 and working up from there. Basically treat it like a 30-second note deal instead of 16th. But not until you're consistently hitting the 240 with stuff. So, if any questions come up this week, please let me know, and I'll see you again